What is up, my friends? Your weekend has officially begun. It is the Anfield Agenda News Roundup, where I'm going to be taking you through Liverpool's search for a manager, a sporting director, and a role that does not currently exist, but one that we're looking to make for Michael Edwards. That and lots more to come over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes. As always, though, we here at Anfield Agenda want to know your thoughts on these stories. Do let us know in the comment section. Please drop a like on the video. And most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As you can see from the top corner, we are closing in. We're only about 46, 45 subscribers away from 247,000. Every one of you makes a difference. Also, don't forget, if you want to help the channel out and get yourself a really cool free app that will give you all the football information you'll ever need, download SofaScore from the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. Everyone that downloads it helps the channel out financially, and of course it is a free app to download, use and enjoy. So look, let's get to the breaking news that came out late last night in the embargoed section of the media. It is Michael Edwards has indeed held fresh talks with the FSG hierarchy over a possible return to Liverpool. Now, what we know, and I think what we can say confidently at this point, is that Michael Edwards is not going to come back to Liverpool or anybody else to be a sporting director. He feels, and probably rightly so, that his CV has already got those words on it, and he wants to go up a level on the ladder again. So we can say for certain if FSG are going to get a deal over the line for Edwards. I don't think anybody can at this point. But I would also point out that I don't think that they push for the meeting if they don't feel that there is maybe a bit of scope there or hope. So this is apparently the plan. Bring in Michael Edwards to oversee all of the football side of things, the recruitment of a manager, to have a big say in transfers, and obviously an appointment of a sporting director. That sporting director, well, that is looking to become a little bit clearer as well. So Paul Joyce is the one who said that Liverpool held those conversations with Michael Edwards over in Boston recently. So let's have a look at what John Cross from the Mirror is saying. And he's talking about Richard Hughes, who was, of course, the Bournemouth sporting director who left his role and informed the club that he was doing so in November. Now, you can see where I'm going with this, right? He said Richard Hughes' preferred destination is Liverpool. So it's not going to be Roma. It isn't going to be Newcastle. We already knew that. So there was a lot of people like myself and many others who thought, well, surely it is Liverpool. Well, now I think we can see this plan starting to come into place for FSG. Put Michael Edwards in if possible. And again, not saying that's done. Put Michael Edwards in if possible, above all the footballing things, to, get the new manager in, work with a new sporting director that very much at this point looks like could be Richard Hughes. Now, again, I know a lot of people are going to say Richard Hughes' CV maybe at Bournemouth and the players he brought in and out there is somewhat underwhelming. But I would say, look at the resources he had to work with, and imagine if he could do that at Liverpool with the resources that we would have to work with. Albeit resources many of us feel like FSG don't supply enough of. But I think you can see the plan here. Put Richard Hughes in as the sporting director and try to get Michael Edwards above. And that leaves one place though, right? That leaves one big glaring hole at Anfield that we need to fill, and that is, of course, the Liverpool managerial position. So we've heard Florian Plettenberg flip-flop 500 times over the past week, and today, well, that's no different. Today he's speaking about the fact that not only are Bayern Munich looking at every other manager in the world, and, favourites according to him for Xabi Alonso, Roberto De Zerbi is now another name that he said is being considered by the hierarchy at Bayern Munich. I'm quite relieved about that, in all honesty, because I don't want Roberto De Zerbi at Liverpool. I don't think he'd be a good fit. And last night's result over in Roma for Brighton wasn't very impressive, was it? A 4-0 trouncing over in Rome. So I'm okay. Let Bayern have him. Let Barcelona have him. As long as we get the one that we want, which is, of course, Xabi Alonso. Now, on Xabi Alonso, there's been a bit of news about that as well. Andy Hunter, of The Guardian has said, Xabi Alonso is acutely aware of Liverpool's interest. Again, we have more from Andy Hunter here from The Guardian, who said Xabi Alonso was the leading candidate for the Liverpool manager's job, but unlike Bayern Munich, wished to respect his attempts to win the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen rather than enter into a public courtship of their popular former midfielder. Goes on to say Michael Edwards would be expected to head the recruitment and analytic departments. He would lead the appointments of any new sporting director and Liverpool manager, with Xabi Alonso the front runner to succeed Jurgen Klopp. I've said this many times on the stream, and I'm going to reiterate it again. Don't take Liverpool not doing a song and dance publicly as any type of indication that they don't want Alonso or they aren't confident about Alonso. Like I've said, and like Andy Hunter here has reiterated, Liverpool have been respectful in their stance. Liverpool have stood off and registered the interest in the right areas, and I think it will stand them in good stead. There are many things over the years I've been angry at FSG about, but this stance and the way they're trying to get the Alonso situation done, I think it'll pay dividends in the end, and I think they'll get their man. Just my 2 cents on it. Now, Jurgen Klopp had his pre-Manchester City press conference today, and he was speaking on a whole host of different subjects. One of them, Jarell Quansah, and the possibility of maybe him playing if Canada isn't available. He said, massive development. He just stepped up. He came back, and it was not everyone at the club. He knew he'd be the next one. He knew his talent. It was how he would deal with the Premier League quality strikers. We wanted to give him the chance to show that. We thought he had the chance to do so. Centre half, number 5 at the moment, Joe Gomez was not full-back reserve. Speaking about Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp again, very full of praise, said, I was never frustrated against Guardiola. I know 3,000 footballers that were better than me, but I still love the game, so I've no problem with that. Never frustrated me. He made me a better manager. I have a positive record versus Pep, but I have no clue how that happened. I'm quite good at what I do. I don't want to sound like I'm just sitting here to be here. I know I'm not bad, but he is the best. Most of the time, I do the job without facing Guardiola. It's much too detailed to say now why he's better. I cannot say why, but there might be areas where I am better. I don't know. I cannot make these differences now. Maybe it is a question of taste. Some people might like the way we play more. I do, but otherwise we play differently, or otherwise we play differently. Again, on Guardiola, he was very complimentary today. He was talking about the trophies Guardiola was won. And honestly, I'm not going to cover it too much in the video because I don't like this. I respect the respectfulness, but I also want a bit of snidiness because we're playing them on Sunday, so I'm not going to gloss into the love in too much. Speaking about the team in general, Klopp said the boys showed an exceptional mentality this season. Started with strange red cards and games with 10, crazy injuries that we still have, really tough, but the boys showed up, fantastic. I'm really happy with that. This is the decisive part of the season, showing great mentality in early March. You wouldn't qualify for Europe if you stopped now. So far so good, but let's not stop. Now, of course, we want to know the situation with Ibrahim Konate, right? We know Joe Gomez isn't injured. Jurgen Klopp made that clear yesterday. But what has he had to say on Ibu? Well, he said Joe Gomez is fine. Ibu, I don't know. He was rather positive last night. I thought he made the right decision at the moment, but it doesn't mean a lot, unfortunately. He will have a scan, definitely, and I don't have the results yet. Others are all fine. So, we don't know with Ibu. But it's still more positive than I expected last night. So I'm going to record my preview this evening, and that will come out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I will have Konate in my starting 11, but of course, if Ibu isn't available, you can absolutely just substitute that player for Jarell Quansah. But it is good news again about the situation with Joe Gomez. He was just taken off as a rotational thing at half-time. And finally, before I finish up today's video, Klopp was, of course, speaking a little bit about the Trent Alexander-Arnold comments, and this is what Jurgen had to say. I had a few people telling me what I should say, and then he laughed. I'm not sure how often we have to say in this club, how often we respect City. Pep is the best manager in the world. I have a good life, but even being close to that, incredible players, the best number 9. De Bruyne will go down in history with Steven Gerrard. Imagine that conversation. Phil Foden, he said, the best English player. Trent understands that, but he's a Liverpool fan. He stood on the sides of the pitch with our slogan, "This means more," because it means more to us. 2 years ago, we had a parade after losing the Champions League the night before and the Premier League. Tell me a club that would do this where it looks like we won. The club is so special to us, so if we feel it, why not say it? I'm not really interested in outside options, it's how it feels. I got told about it. I'm pretty sure we showed total respect as well. Man City's the most successful in recent years and in Europe. Ridiculous record. Means a lot for their people, I'm sure. Maybe for us, it's that we didn't win that many. It's not that we didn't have 5, 6, 7 and 5th was better. That's it. You love these interviews when somebody says what they think. The whole world reacts. It's still allowed to think what we want. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with what Trent said. And again, it's just like the media are trying to manipulate this into some type of big rivalry. There is no rivalry as far as we're concerned between Liverpool and Manchester City. Yes, they are a pest. Yes, they are a distraction. And yes, they are 115 charges FC. But there will never be the same rivalry as there is with Manchester United or Everton. It just won't exist because Manchester City are what you think they are, what we think they are. And they will hopefully be dealt with accordingly when the rules catch up with them. Until then, this will be the last time we see Pep Guardiola visit Anfield with Jurgen Klopp as Liverpool manager. So enjoy it. Let's take it all in. And of course, we'll be starting our watch along very early this weekend, 1.5 hours before kickoff, to build up to what is a massive, massive game in our season. So I've had my say. I've given you the latest news. Let us know your thoughts now. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Also, don't forget to check out our clips channel, Anfield Agenda Clips, where we'll be uploading highlights from our streams. We'll be uploading dedicated videos as well, like social media reaction. That went up last night after the game, where we're looking at the Echo comment section, Twitter and other social media platforms to find you the most funny and hopefully iconic reactions that took place throughout the game. Until then, folks, talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend, and I will catch up with you on Sunday. Bye-bye.